Our sponsor for today's show is the New Wave Swim Buoy. Ever since the introduction of swimming in the 2011 CrossFit Games, swimming has become a standard event in the games. If you don't want to be exiting the water dead fucking last, you want to incorporate swimming into your weekly training regimen. But just like weightlifting and gymnastics, swimming takes a lot of practice. Swimming in the open water is a whole different game. You're taking the punches from other people, running into the water, and inevitably getting kicked in the face underwater. Training in open water in race-like conditions is critical for your survival as a competitor. Saying that you're not a strong swimmer is no longer enough and will not keep you alive when your heart rate's pounding at 95% max. You feel nauseous and disoriented, and you can't touch the bottom or stop to catch your breath. That's when panic sets in. Yes, panic. Even for me, a lifeguard and a surfer for over 20 years, swimming in the ocean without my surfboard or kayak support made me panic. Our sponsor, New Wave Swim Buoy, designed a float that provides open water swimmers a personal confidence-boosting device that tows behind you and is, right within arm's reach. New Wave Swim Buoy will give you the mental confidence to push your swim training. Swimming gives you an edge, no question. If it's in the CrossFit Games, it's in my workout. New Wave is easy to inflate and light to carry. No pump is necessary. New Wave attaches to your waist with the provided belt and trails behind you, and it doesn't interfere. This thing is great, whether you're just learning to swim or an Olympic swimmer. Confidence, comfort, and visibility. Visibility? Well, you don't want a boat or jet ski come crashing into you while you have 3 more sets left for the day. That would probably ruin dinner, too. I know the CrossFit 417 Club in Missouri uses New Wave swim buoys to make sure no one disappears and all athletes are accounted for. And a huge extra bonus, the buoy also has a compartment that's waterproof so you can carry your phone, your keys, a protein bar, whatever you want to store on your longer swims. So the New Wave is a must-have for anyone serious about being an all-around athlete. Confidence, visibility, storage, all to help you become a well-rounded CrossFit athlete. So do yourself a favor, head over to your local Amazon store, search New Wave swim buoys, and use promo code WODcast1 for 10% off your next purchase. You got that? Go to Amazon, go to the store, look up New Wave swim buoys, and use the promo code WODcast1 for 10% off your next purchase. Another way you guys can help the show is by going to our website, and you're going to help the show, you're going to help yourself. We have a thing called Thrive Market. If you don't know about Thrive and you're in health and fitness and wellness and strength and conditioning, you're crazy. You got to go to thrivemarket.com. I can't implore you enough how important this place is. It's like Costco, combined with Whole Foods. It's very, very inexpensive food. Food and products, any kind of, it's mostly food. I think it's all food. But all the kind of healthy stuff that you want at a very discounted rate. And my wife orders it all the time. Whenever she says she's ordering, I go on the website and I order them because it's just a way to get really good, healthy stuff really inexpensively. You sign up. All you do is you go to their website. But what you have to do to help the show, you go to their website through our website. So you go to WODcastpodcast.com, and there is on the right side, there's a little click-through that says Thrive Market. All you do is click it. When you do it, they'll have you register for free. And I think you get free shipping on all orders over $49. And your first purchase on Thrive Market will start your 30-day membership trial. And I guarantee you'll see that you're saving so much money. And it's only, I think, $59.95 to join for the year. So you join for the year, but you get the free membership for a month. And then look at all the, when you ask me about those Siete chips, I get them off there. There's so many sweets and treats and beef jerky and all different kinds of stuff. They deliver it right to your house, just like Amazon would. And it's just so cheap. And I'm not sure exactly where. If you go to there, once you click through, you'll see where exactly they order to, but almost everywhere in the United States. And they don't ship to Hawaii, Alaska, Puerto Rico, or Canada. Sorry about that, guys. But it's amazing. And so get on there, click through, and they give a little kickback to us if you join. So this is a good way to keep this show going. I'm trying to make it better and better. I'm trying to bring in an assistant, like I said, so that I can be on the road and get this stuff done a little better and get a lot more video for you guys and film some stuff to make it more exciting and funnier and whatever. But check it out. So if you listen to this show often, you realize that, yes, I'm not the greatest CrossFitter in the world, but I am a nationally touring, globally touring stand-up comedian. So I am often on the road around the world. And that's one of the greatest parts of doing this show is that I get to stop in at gyms in every city that I go to and interview some great people and work out with great people. And so if you hear that I'm coming to your town, send me an email at WODcastpodcast@yahoo.com. Let me know. I try to stop into most of the gyms that message me and work out with you guys. And I also try to get you guys tickets to my shows. If I come by your gym, I always offer some free tickets to at the very least the owners and coaches. But I try to, depending on the club, try to open up to as many people as I can. If you happen to not be at one of those clubs and you're in town, you can buy tickets to one of my shows. Like I said, I'm always touring. This week, I'm in New York City. So if you're a New York City CrossFitter, come out to one of my shows. So far, I only know that I'm going to be at the Comedy Cellar, and I'm doing that the 28th and the 1st. That's the 28th of November and the 1st of December. I'm doing a taping of its new Comedy Central show called This Week at the Comedy Cellar. Very original name. So they probably have tickets for that live taping. It's probably fun to come out and see them shoot a TV show. And if you send me a message, like I said, at WODcastpodcast@yahoo.com, maybe I can hook you up and get you in. It's really hard to get tickets to that club. Usually sells out all the time. The week after that, I will be at the Laugh Factory in Reno, Nevada. That's the Laugh Factory in Reno, Nevada. I'm going to be there for I think it's like a week, like the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So that's December 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. I've got a great interview coming up for that week with the Cowboy. You guys know who that is, don't you? I think Armin might have done an interview with him too. But Sean Sweeney. So Sean Sweeney is going to be the guest that week up in Reno. I'm going to head out to his gym, get an interview with him, and then I go to Lake Tahoe. I don't have an interview scheduled. If you know anyone good in Lake Tahoe that you think should be interviewed, I was going to try to get Johnny Mosley, maybe, a former Olympic skier, who I know from the Alice Morning Show in San Francisco. But I'll be staying in South Lake Tahoe doing shows at the Improv at Harvey's. That's Harvey's Casino on Lake Tahoe. There's an improv comedy club there. I'll be there the 12th of December, 13th, 14th, 15th. Might even be there the 16th. I think I am. Wow, a lot of shows. And then I fly straight to North Carolina to do a show at, you're going to love this name, the Galway Hooker. I will only be in North Carolina for one night. And that is the 18th. And then I head to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And I will be in Pittsburgh visiting family, probably working out at Raw in Hampton. So I'll be at Realize the Athlete Within, the Jeremy and Molly Tuman's gym, and maybe get some interviews. Who knows? But then I head off to, right after Christmas, I will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I have not scheduled any interviews. I probably won't leave my hotel room because it's freezing. But I will be at the House of Comedy in the Mall of America. That's the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and the 1st. No show on the 31st. So that is the House of Comedy in Minneapolis, Minnesota. New Year's Eve, you can come see me. I will be at the House of Comedy. And then I take off for Scottsdale, Arizona. I'll be at the House of Comedy in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm trying to get an interview with an OG. I can't announce it yet because he hasn't agreed yet. We're trying to work out our schedules. But I'll be at the House of Comedy in Scottsdale, and that is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th of January. Then I head off to the Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ann Arbor, Michigan, that's the 10th, 11th, 12th of January. Then the 17th, 18th, 19th of January, I'm at Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale. That's up in the South Bay. I got a whole bunch of people I'm going to be interviewing up in the South Bay. All day long, I'm going to be doing interviews for you guys, and I'll be out at Rooster Teeth Feathers, 17th, 18th, and 19th in maybe even the 20th, too. I think I do the 20th. 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th in Sunnyvale, California. Then the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, I'm back in my hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, doing shows there. 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th at the brand new renovated Pittsburgh Improv. So come out and see me then. And then the week after that, I'm in Worcester, Massachusetts. That's the first week in February. And the second week in February, I am at Laugh Boston in Boston, Massachusetts. That's the 7th, 8th, and 9th of February. And I'm telling you a lot of dates because people plan way ahead. And then I just want to let Australia know I'm coming. I will be in Adelaide at the Adelaide Fringe Festival. I already worked it out that the entire time I will be at the Fringe Festival, I will be working out at CrossFit Mode, which is James Newberry's place, and we talked about it. I'm going to try to get James to co-host the episodes with me and do some really cool interviews while we're in Australia because there's some amazing athletes down there. I'm in Adelaide most of the time, and then I do some shows. I'll be in Launceston down in Tasmania. I will be doing some shows in Sydney, Australia. I think I do a show in Canberra. I'm not sure. You'll have to go to my site, eddief.com. That's where you get all these dates and check them out and come out and see me live and say hi after the show, take pictures. I always like to meet CrossFitters and like to work out with you guys because we got a lot in common, and so it's pretty cool to meet you guys. Hey guys, we've got an amazing episode of the WODcast podcast this week for you. I traveled all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada to do shows at the Comedy Cellar in the Rio Hotel. And while I was there, I worked out at CrossFit Max Effort and got to interview one of my favorite coaches in the business, good friend of mine, former Games competitor, L1, L2, I believe, cert staff, and also former Navy SEAL, Zach Forrest. So we had a great sit-down, great interview. I could talk to Zach for hours and hours and hours. We actually do. He comes to a lot of my shows, and after the shows, we usually get a meal, and I bug him. I ask him a lot of questions. So hopefully I asked a lot of questions that you'd be curious about, and hopefully it's an interesting episode for you. I think it's a pretty good one. I've been working hard on the show, trying to get you new episodes every week, trying to get you good guests, and trying to make them interesting. You know, you guys haven't dropped the ball. You guys have been really supportive and helping out the show. The Patreon's great. It helps pay a lot of the costs of the show. Myopucks and Leopard Claw have been incredible to us to help with the incentives. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to patreon.com/WODcast. That's patreon.com/WODcast. And if you donate a little bit of money to the show, I think it's $3, and you get to watch the episodes. $5, you get yourself into a basically we reward one listener every week. We reward one listener every week, and we give them a Myopucks and a Leopard Claw, which is worth about $450. All you got to do is donate about $5. I think it's $5 every month. You know, you just sign up, $5 a month, and then you're going to get yourself. If you don't know what the Leopard Claw is, it's the soft tissue multi-tool, and it's designed for self-mobilization. It increases blood flow while breaking up restrictions in the tissues, and it ultimately helps you move better. So one of the great things is they give these to a lot of the soldiers downrange, the guys that are in the middle of battles and things, and they're getting injured a lot. And these kind of things help them out. So some of the money and that you donate goes to us, and some goes to them to help them. It's a good cause, and I can't tell you enough about these things. The thing that I love the most is the Myopucks. After you hit yourself with the Leopard Claw and break up all that fascia and all that gunk in the tissue, get yourself on the Myopucks. It's a portable and and affordable electronic muscle stimulation. That's an EMS. And it's also a TENS device, too. If you don't know about TENS device, that helps with the pain. The MyoPucks increases blood flow, but it also removes the waste to help you recover more efficiently. So all that congestion is flushed out, and it will decrease the pain. That's what the TENS does. So if you've got overuse, which we all do, come on, you're doing CrossFit, you're doing some heavy workouts. This is what's going to help you out. It's going to clear the congestion, and it's going to flush it out and then decrease the pain. So get yourself one of those by donating. Go to, like I said, patreon.com/WODcast. You can find it from our website, which is WODcastpodcast.com. And this week, the winner is Andrew Stewart. So congratulations, Andrew. Enjoy this. I hope I make you pain-free and injury-free. But now, that's enough of announcements, enough of ads, enough of promotions. Now it's like, let's just get right down to business and enjoy this episode where I bug Zach Forrest for over an hour and a half. Welcome to the WODcast podcast. I am your host, the solo host. I'm the last man standing. I'm Eddie Ift. I'm here in Las Vegas, not so warm Las Vegas, in my favorite gym in all of Sunset Road in Las Vegas. No, I love this fucking gym. This is my home away from home. I'm here. I probably spend 4 weeks a year in Las Vegas, and I come to what I think is an incredible CrossFit gym, owned by an incredible human being.
Oh,
I do. I love you like a brother from another father.
Yep, that sounds right.
Zach Forrest, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you a little bit about this guy before, because he's humble. He won't take any of the credit. He's an amazing coach. One of the best coaches in CrossFit I've seen. He's an amazing competitor. He's been to the CrossFit Games three fucking times. He just said it like only been. You just said it like only three. 3 times. So he's in the 0.0000000000001% of human beings. And I'm not going to lie to you. The thing that I find best about him is that he can wear pink shirts.
Yeah.
He's wearing a fucking pink shirt right now. Now,
I'm colorblind. Is this pink?
Yeah, it is pink. And I'm wearing a bit of a feminine shirt myself right now. Yeah. I got this at CrossFit Spokane. And it's a semi-pro exerciser shirt.
Accurate though.
I'm not even semi-pro though. I'm an amateur, if that. Anyway, Zach is also something he doesn't like to talk about because he's one of the good ones. He former Navy SEAL, which is pretty easy to get into these days. I heard you just
apply online.
You collect the tops of cereal boxes. But as you know from the media, Navy SEALs, that's who you call. It's like Ghostbusters. Like anytime you need something done, like there's a satellite down out in space. Get a team of Navy SEALs. I'm surprised Donald Trump doesn't use them more often.
Navy SEALs?
Like he doesn't say.
I think he thinks that we're fictional. I don't think he thinks we're real.
But you know how he's kind of like, he likes playing president, that he'd be like, there's an issue? Send the SEALs. Trump or Obama kind of did that a lot.
Yes.
He was very much like, oh, there's a guy got kidnapped in Somalia.
He had different advisors telling him what to do, though. Donald Trump's like, bombs, I think. No.
I don't. I never get into politics on this show because it'll split everyone. But I as much as I everyone knows I don't like Donald Trump, but I do like his military advisors. I think they're good dudes.
I try not to pay attention to any of it.
Really?
Right now. No, because then I develop an opinion, and when I have opinions, they're usually very, very strong. I'm not a mild. I try and be as unbiased as possible and as logical as possible, and I try and gather all the information before I make a commitment. But with Trump, I feel like I would make a commitment and not have all the information, and it would polarize a lot.
That's really smart, I think as a gym owner. But also as a human being, I try to say that I'm not liberal and I'm not conservative. I'm very moderate, and I listen to both sides like a judge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I watch I watch people that just are so one-sided, and I'm like, that's like you're like Judge Judy or Judge Wapner from People's Court. That's an old reference. You're like watching, and you only listen to the plaintiff,
right?
And you don't listen to the defendant. And I feel like that's what people do. They either just
they've made up their mind before they hear both sides.
Yeah, and I also feel like we don't have as a public, we don't have enough information. And
we'll never have enough information. That's how the system is designed, though. And that's why, like, when people are so one-sided on any issue, I'm always skeptical. Always skeptical.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't necessarily agree with them, but it's still, I want to hear what the other side has to say.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt that way even about, I was doing a joke about it last night on stage about voting. I just voted in the last election, and I did a absentee ballot because I was going to be away, and I looked at it. And I studied political science in college. I worked for a senator out of college.
I did not know this about you.
Yeah, and that's when I realized I didn't want to be any part of it. It's too fucking serious for me. I told the senator to have fun once. He goes, I'm going down to the floor, to the Senate floor to vote. And I go, well, you have fun. and like one of my bosses grabbed me and goes, don't tell the senator to have fun. Like
they don't do that.
Yeah.
That's
so... I just
might have helped him, actually.
I was like, I'm out of this shit. Anyway, when I was voting, I was like, I'm pretty knowledgeable, and I have no fucking idea. Like, I think I know these candidates. I don't. And then I looked at all the referendums, and I researched them all. And at the end of the day, they all sound great, but then they're all going to add tons of money to the budget. Like, let's give everybody everything, but then
the impact on half those decisions are so far-reaching that even people that are knowledgeable. Now, imagine the people that aren't knowledgeable. Even more?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta lick this thing.
Yeah, you're like sucking.
Holy cow!
You're sucking the mic.
I don't want to talk because I'm uncomfortable.
Now I can hear you great though.
Oh man!
And you were making a good point.
Well, I was just going to say, it's the impact on a lot of these decisions are so far-reaching that even the people who are knowledgeable don't fully understand the consequences. And so what do you think the vast majority of people think? If they're not knowledgeable, they have no idea what's actually going to happen.
That's what people don't, from working in a Senate office, people don't understand that sometimes the senator is speaking after he's been briefed for 5 minutes about that subject and he knew nothing about it. Yeah. But they basically just, his legislative aides put shit in his head that they went and got position papers and everything and read them and then came to him and he has to go speak on it just hearing it 5 minutes ago.
So there's a huge amount of trust in those aides, you would think.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're only human.
But that's your job, is to, like, when you're in those offices, it's just like a gym. It's like anywhere else. You're responsible for everybody underneath you and hoping that you hire responsible people that are then transferring your ideology, you
gotta trust the coaches.
Yep.
To deliver your message. Yep. To deliver your vision.
And so that's why they fired me from the senator's office.
Yeah, I cannot see you. I can't see you in that realm at all. I mean, I can, but I don't. I like picturing you in any political realm just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Eddie.
I was uncomfortable.
Know.
Here's one of the reasons I got fired. So all the letters you get from politicians, they don't sign. They have a machine called the auto pen, and you put a piece of paper in, and you hit a pedal, and a pen comes down that's like a robot that signs their name.
To make it look like ink and...
Yeah.
Wow.
You put these like blue felt pens in there, and so it looks like they hand signed it, and so it doesn't look like a stamp.
Right.
And this is also going back 25 years ago or 30 years or whatever, how fucking old I am. But it would do it, and so that was my job in the beginning, was like have these letters signed. I would write a lot of the letters, but just...
Dude, I would have pictured you to be the person like to program that robot to draw a penis or something like that. Like,
I wrote my own letter of recommendation on the computer on Senate stationery.
And then signed it.
Signed it.
Hell yeah.
And it was the funniest letter in the world. It talked about how the senator would get drunk with me, and I wish
that's
I had
the
a copy
abusal
of
of power that I would assign to you. That's what I expect out of you. Thank you.
I mean, it was the funniest letter, and it went all around the office, and everyone thought it was hilarious until I got called into the chief of staff.
Yep.
Who then I've never been yelled at like that in my life. I mean, he threatened me with like forgery, and he was like, do you understand that's a federal offense and you're blah blah blah, and I was like, it was a joke, dude. Like, it was clearly a joke.
Hey man, you just need to have some fun.
And I was like, that's when I'm out of here.
Yep.
So what are you doing? Oh, is that you against Froning right there?
No, that is not me. I was never that thick. That is my good friend Matt Chan.
Oh, Matt Chan, who's so thick that his fucking legs just opened up and let his muscles out.
Yeah, it's right.
What the fuck was that?
So I'm not exactly sure what the name of the injury was, but I just know that his recovery process entailed a fasciotomy. So they had to cut open the sheath of tissue that encases the muscle.
Oh, so they cut in. I thought it just like blasted out.
There
of
was
his
like
body.
there was like an internal. He punctured something, and so muscles are encased in fascia,
right?
And it's like these big sacs in which the muscles contract and slide through and all that stuff. And I think, if memory serves me, his injury made one of those fascia sacs like fill up.
Compartment syndrome.
Compartment syndrome. That's what it is. Yeah. Who is that, John?
Yeah, John.
Thanks, John.
Came through with that.
And then when he got to the hospital, they had to cut him open and all that stuff. So at one point, you could see like
they
everything
took a
in his
photo.
leg.
I hope he was under when they took that photo. And
I don't know.
awake.
He's tough enough to where he probably wasn't.
Where is he these days?
I'm pretty sure he's in Colorado. I think he's back on fighting fires. He's back working for the fire department is what I'm pretty sure he's doing. But he still helps out with seminars for HQ, and he's still being a badass. I'm pretty sure he's going to compete in. I saw him post the Rogue Invitational.
Okay,
you know all these sanctioned events that CrossFit's doing. So Rogue is putting on their own sanctioned event, and I'm not sure if this has any path to the games. Maybe it does, but they're doing like a Legends competition, and they're inviting like a bunch of OG. I'm talking like 2009, 2010, 2000, all the way through maybe 12.
That's what a lot of people are excited about.
Yeah, I think so. Those are that's where the celebrity of CrossFit started. I think
right, and I think
those years.
I think that's where it ended too.
Yeah,
because
it got a little convoluted here in the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's the same thing with stand-up comedy. There's 7 million of us now because of the internet. But back in the day, when there were very few, those ones have still kind of maintained their celebrityism because, like, Pauly Shore but Pauly Shore has fame that it's almost impossible to get at this point.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like
he also had a
Tiffany
personality that was very unique. I mean, like he had a shtick.
Yeah,
right. And now there are only so many shticks out there. It's like you have to be very, very novel and very, very original, let's say, in order to, I think, break through in comedy or any type of show business, in music and art, whatever it is.
It's so hard
because the internet has made it so easy to be seen that it's like every shtick out there, every shtick possible is out there already.
It used to be when I moved to Hollywood, you were competing with, everyone in Hollywood and New York. You were competing with those people who wanted to be on TV and wanted to be successful.
But who had actually gone to Hollywood to actually make it happen.
Which took a lot. And there were gatekeepers that could just kick you right out.
Right.
You're not in, you're out of here, you're not being accepted. Where now,
all you need is a camera.
Yeah.
And an internet connection.
And so the same thing happens in CrossFit where and I think it's going to get worse with all these different competitions. There's people competing all over the place, and there's not so much a focus on, you're not going to get to watch, say, a Zach Forrest or a Rich Froning go through the open, the regionals, you're not going to
climb through the ranks.
Yeah, you're not going to have that journey with them, and it's just going to kind of oversaturate it. And
it's because, to be honest, nowadays, I mean, I hate always bringing this up, and I feel like this is a forced topic, but now it's like you could have a virtual nobody, never posted anything on social media or whatever, do a cycle of steroids, train, come off of it appropriately to not get caught at the competition, blow everybody out of the water, or do really, really well, and go to the games and be like, who the hell is this guy?
Thank you. I just said that same exact thing on, I don't know if it was the last podcast or the podcast before, but I was saying... I had Carlene Matthews on last week, and I was talking about that. That's who it was I was talking to. She said she hasn't gotten tested out of, she goes, maybe they've forgotten about me because she's kind of retired.
Right.
She goes, I don't get tested. I said, but what about these guys that don't ever ever compete. Like they can be fucking, like you're saying, they could just be out there just.
That's the thing. Yeah,
you
exactly.
Can get 25 pounds of muscle in a year from steroids.
You could be 18 years old and with a general sports background and be like, you know what? Look at this thing. I want to try that CrossFit as a competitive sport, and literally just train 4 or 5 years, do no competitions, do everything illegal, back off for a year, retain 90% of the results or
not
whatever.
Not even a year.
And then,
I've talked to so many steroid experts. We're talking.
I'm not a steroid expert, so maybe 6 months?
Way less.
Okay, whatever it is.
Way less. It's out of your system.
Then they compete.
Yep.
And place and they're supposed to lend legitimacy to the competition, but
let's
not the way it's set up.
Let's be honest here. We've proven through the testing that there's a lot of people in the games that are juicing. They've caught. I
don't know if you can say between all the competitions, yes,
they're catching a lot of people.
Yeah.
So there's people, and they've always said in all sports, you listen to Victor Conti, who's an expert, who Balco Laboratories guy. You talk to these guys, they'll say anyone that gets caught's an idiot because there's so many ways. It's so easy to beat the system. And so whoever's getting caught, I often wonder if these people that get caught aren't lying. Or aren't telling the truth when they say, I took a supplement that I didn't know had, this in it.
Right. Because
it's that easy to not get caught. So
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. All I do know is that they're trying. I like this format, but there are some with the competitive season with sanctioned events throughout the year and the Open, all this other stuff. It's similar to how the PGA tour works, where it's like you have all these qualifying events, and then what's the PGA like the Masters, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. If you win so much money or you place a certain level throughout the year, you get to go to Masters.
Right.
And the thing is that allows athletes in golf to compete in multiple events. It's like you could win 3 or 4 of those events throughout the year, but you're not going to see that in CrossFit specifically because of the physiological recovery that's needed between these sanctioned events.
Yeah, that's what I wondered.
Golf, it's like you play one event the previous weekend. It's like you take a weekend off and you can go play another weekend. It's like you're not, what are you recovering from?
Right.
The pressure, the mental pressure, maybe. All right. But it's like the physical stress of going through a CrossFit competition over the course of a weekend. Like these athletes are legit recovering for a minimum physically 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes it's longer, depending on how well.
2 to 3 weeks you could recover from that?
No, I'm not me. Mentally, but physically, if they're peaking, it's like I know some people that take 6 months that aren't recovered for the games after having competed at regionals.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of coaches out there who'd be like, well, then there's something wrong with their training. It's like, well, have you ever competed at regionals? Like the 3 days of those events, and if you were mentally tough enough to go to a dark place, then yeah, it's debilitating.
Right.
I know one of the only reasons why I was ever relatively competitive was because of, I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance in certain situations, so I can push.
We're pretty sure about that, Zach.
Well, I'm just saying it's like there's nothing really spectacular about what I can do physically. It's really just being able to put up with a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort.
I mean, that's what CrossFit is. Once you learn all the skills, it's pretty much how much can you
pain
suffer.
Tolerance. Yeah. And you're essentially just breaking your body.
I wonder if there's a way to test that, like they do with, they always say women, because of pregnancy and everything, they have a higher endurance
pain
level
tolerance.
Or higher pain tolerance.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way to test that people.
There probably is. I mean, it would be hard to test in certain situations, but it's like they can read CNS output. They can read the electricity that your body generates and all these other factors that are correlates to pain. But I don't think. I think your perception of pain is kind of nature versus nurture, and where it's like it's half quantifiable, and the other half is completely subjective based off your previous experiences as a human.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, were you
interesting?
Were you able to, when you got into CrossFit and got in competitively? I know for me, once I do something in life, like I ran a marathon or I ran another marathon or I did this or was up for 24 hours to do, then when I'm doing something, when I'm in there, I go, like you're saying, previous experience, I go, I know I can do this because I did that. So from coming from your Navy SEAL background and going through BUD/S, were you able to go, I can get through this event and I can do it because I went through that?
Yeah, there are some points where you have that thought process, but that is never the thought process for me in the moment. Mm-hmm. It's like you might think of that going into the final event on regionals. I remember in like one of the years, 2011 or something like that, my hands were so beat up. Like I literally had like balls of tape on my hands, like 4 hands tape, because the previous 6 events or whatever had just literally taken all the skin off your hands. That's right. It was in Denver or at Castle Rock, and it was outside, so it was in the heat. So like grabbing the bars and everything, like skin was like just coming off your hands. And I remember thinking, okay, you can deal with this. You can put up for one final event because you've been in rougher situations.
Right.
But like in the moment pain, like dealing with acute pain rather than the mental anguish leading up to the event, I think is different. I think that's a different type of mental toughness. Like mental preparation and then dealing in the moment, I think, I don't know what the difference is. It just feels different to me. So I don't know how to explain that.
That hand pain is like a different kind of, I always say it's so funny how you can have like a torn rotator and a paper cut can hurt more.
Yeah, it's the human body's weird like that in the sense that like you can accomplish a task through compensation or you can accomplish a task through sheer willpower. Like pain, like there's like reactive pain where it's like you hold on to something and it hurts so bad that your body just reacts by opening the hand, like putting your hand on a hot stove, right? And then there's pain like, oh man, my knee is hurting during this squat. I can grind through it. I know I'm damaging my body, but my joint hurts. And then there's pain and weakness where it's like, oh my God, my knee hurts, and then it gives out.
How much damage do you think you've done to your body in competitive CrossFit? Competitive. We're not talking about CrossFit. We're talking about competitive CrossFit.
Competitive CrossFit, I mean, not too much. I can't answer that. That's a weird question to answer because I want to give you an objective answer. I want to give you something that's quantifiable. I don't think it's possible because I don't really know. But I will say this: I think I'm one of the lucky ones in the sense that I started CrossFit before it was an actual sport, quote unquote. Right?
What year did you start?
Like 2005.
And that's when you were in
the Navy.
Okay.
So it's like when I learned how to do cleans and muscle ups and all this stuff, it was for the basis of training well and working out well. It was never for the basis of I need to learn how to do butterfly pull-ups so I can go faster. Right. I need, like, it was never from that. It was I need to learn how to do a proper gymnastics kip so I can develop the coordination and develop the strength and develop it was weird. So my being good in CrossFit was a result of learning proper mechanics and then becoming consistent with them and then going faster, which is what CrossFit teaches. Sure. But a lot of people think what they see on TV or on the competition field is what the end result is, and that's just intensity. It's like, no, that doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I mean, CrossFit does pretty much do this now, but in the past, when it got, when people just come in and want to go as fast as they could and beat everyone, it was almost like, why don't you go take a gymnastics class first?
Well, they
think
take
Olympic weightlifting class?
The result or the score is, the score on the whiteboard or the load or whatever they put up on the whiteboard, they think that is the intent. They think the better that, the better me. And it's not, that is a measurement of everything else that has gone into the training program.
David Paradiso always used to talk to me about it. He said he'd like to see like the the chart, the evolution of man.
Yeah,
it was David who said this. The evolution of a CrossFitter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because you come in the first day, you're scared. You're crawling. The second day, you're like, I think I got this thing. The third day, you're like, I'm going to the games.
Give me a year.
The fourth day, you're hunched over. You're like, I'm in so much pain. The fifth day, you're like,
I can't feel my legs.
The fifth day, you're like, I'm going to learn how to do this properly.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I think I went through that a lot myself, where I was like, fuck form. Like, I'm crushing this.
Why do I need to do it like that when I can do it like this so much faster?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not, because faster isn't necessarily the point right now.
and I mean, that's it. Look, it's the dichotomy of this thing. It's what makes it so great, but at the same time, what
well, and that's where good coaching comes in. Yeah, it's like a good coach can motivate you to do both.
But as this thing's evolved, I say now, I travel around, I'm in a different CrossFit gym every day. I very rarely see a bad coach. Very rarely. Used to in the beginning, or not the beginning, but I've been doing it for 10 years. I used to go to places where I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And how does he have, like, how does he own a gym? And but pretty much now, it's full of people that know what they're doing.
Very similar to what we were talking about earlier with 7 million comedians being out there and how the shtick is so common. It's good coaching is more common because of the internet, because people are understanding it's like all the information that's necessary to be a good coach is already out on the internet for free. All the information is there.
And before, it wasn't the information, it was just examples of people working out. You would watch them and go, I'm just going to do what he does.
Exactly.
Back when it was, them doing Annie, doing Fran, or whoever
100%.
It was.
Yep.
You weren't one of the big video, like, you never filmed yourself back in the day?
No, because, before I bought an iPhone, like, what was I going to videotape myself with? I had to set up like a legit digital camera, and I didn't want to go through all that shit. I do remember a couple times I would video my lifts to then watch them and coach myself on, because as soon as I moved to Vegas, I didn't have anybody to coach me. So, like, I got out of the Navy, and in the Navy.
Why'd you go Navy to Las Vegas?
Because my parents had moved here when I was.
I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah,
because you're from Vermont.
No, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
We watched that. Vermont, they're a little. They might as well be Canadian for all. Yeah.
So you grew up in New Hampshire. Your parents moved here.
Yep.
And you were like, I want to go be by my parents.
Yeah. Well, I got out, and I hadn't really developed a plan, so it's kind of, I fell into owning a gym kind of by accident.
What'd you do? 4 years Navy?
Yeah. No, 6. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you required to do 6 with SEALs?
Yeah, exactly. There's a 2-year extension. I don't know if that's the same thing nowadays, but once you get out of BUD/S and you get your PIN, your rate changes to the SEAL rating. You are required to extend.
And for those of you out there, Zach hates, we go to dinner after my shows often, and I ask him 7,000 SEAL questions, and I know he gets annoyed by it all the time.
At this point, I just make up answers. He has no idea the difference. And they're like, yeah, we also have dolphin sidekicks that have laser beams and rockets attached underneath them, and we train them. And that's how we do underwater operations.
And then I tell everybody these things like it's fact. Let me ask you this. Were you Virginia or San Diego?
Virginia. Yeah.
Oh, you were Virginia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little Creek.
Did you feel like you were inferior to the San Diego Sun?
No, superior.
No, those guys get to live like Maverick and Top Gun. They ride around on motorcycles.
And as a result, they don't end up doing any training. No. Being in Virginia is just different relative to San Diego. It's like, the weather's obviously different, but I feel like there's just so much more to do in San Diego that you can live a more balanced life in San Diego.
Where in Virginia, you just get focused.
Virginia, it's like your boys, and training.
Yeah,
hell yeah. And then that one bar.
Did you go in at 18?
Yeah, 17.
There's got to be girls that just hang out at that one bar, though, just like crazy.
Yeah, and it was great until I got my fake ID taken.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you were 18. Oh, my God, that's hysterical. That's hysterical. I can't imagine anything better than saying, like, what do you do? I'm a Navy SEAL.
But
I think I've used that.
I can't drink, though.
So, I've told you a million times, my cousin is, I think he was head of Little Creek.
What Special Warfare Group? Spec War Group 2.
Yeah. And now he's an admiral, and he never talks to me.
He would. I'm sure but
he's so busy.
If he liked you, if he wasn't as busy.
It's funny. I've seen him a bunch and talked to him. His brother's daughter just won the gold medal in the Olympics.
Oh, geez. For what?
Swimming.
Oh, okay.
Leah Smith. She's amazing.
Yep.
I've never met Leah in my entire life. She's my second cousin.
Yep.
I have no idea. When she was in the Olympics, my family talked about her like she had dinner with us every night. And they kept going, your cousin. And I'm like,
second cousin that I've never met.
I know my gardener way better than I know her.
Hey, you share on some level the same DNA.
Yeah.
You have that potential.
To be a good swimmer? No.
To be good at something.
When I was a lifeguard, they called me Spitz because I was probably the worst swimmer on the patrol because I came from a track background and
you can run.
I didn't realize I had to swim. And they were like
to be a lifeguard?
Well, I never would have made the patrol.
You just get on a jet ski.
There were like 80 dudes trying out for 18 spots.
Right.
And I came in like 79th in the swim. The other guy they had to like put in the boat and resuscitate. Then the run I won. But they told us it was the average of the two. So
you won by such a large margin on the run?
It's like CrossFit. If you won but came in last, you're still going to place.
You're still in the 30th. Yeah.
So that's what happened to me. I placed like 40th, and they needed 18, but they did an interview, and I had a black eye. And they were like, "Why do you have a black eye?" And I'd gotten in like a bar fight. And they go, "Why do you have a black eye?" And I was like, "I was, sticking up for this girl and blah, blah, blah." And I'm telling this whole story.
He's chivalrous.
And
he has a good moral compass.
No, my patrol is a bunch of douchebags. The guy looks at me and he goes, "I was at the bar that night."
You're full of shit.
Yeah, he's like, "I saw what happened." And I was like, okay. But they knew I was fast. I guess I had done really well on the run that they needed me for competitions. So they were using me. But then they kind of regretted it because they found out early on in the swims that I was pathetic. And they started to get really mad at me. And they were like, "Dude, you're a lifeguard. Fucking swim." Like I'd be doing breaststroke and they'd be like in the boats beside me going, "Put your fucking head in the fucking water right now." They're like, "Put your fucking..." They were throwing torps at me, those red plastic. And then I thought I was like getting away with it and like sneaking through. And the captains and lieutenants would come down to my stand and they'd be like, "Get in the boat." And they just row me out like 2 miles.
And make you swim?
And just go, "Get in." And then they would leave.
Yep.
And I was like, "Guys, this is not fucking funny."
Like, I legit might die.
Yeah. And you have that strap with the torp, like the new wave swim buoy. And luckily you have that you can
rest and grab onto it if you need it.
But, they'd still be yelling, "Go!" And eventually I just kept going and going. And
so eventually did you become a better swimmer?
Yeah, I'm able to do like triathlons now and stuff like that.
Good.
But it took a lot of hard work. And I swam as a kid too, like competition swimming. But I was just, I'm not a long distance guy. And the ocean gets scary. I surf all the time. It's fucking terrifying.
Just don't think about it.
I'm telling a Navy SEAL, he's like,
yeah, ocean's scary.
Is that all it is? Is it like block out the...
I mean, you can do that. That works for some people. Or you can just, accept it head on and just be tougher.
I mean, that's kind of how I am now. I like people say to me, "Hey, there was a shark attack here," or "shark," and I'm like, okay. They're everywhere.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be the one.
Yep.
I get in a car and I drive. There's car accidents every day. So there are still a few places in this world that I won't surf.
Why?
Just
because of sharks?
I think they're too sharky.
Yeah, too sharky.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to surf Reunion Island. I don't like South Africa so much. I did surf when I was there. And then the west coast of Australia.
I've heard about those last two, Australia and South Africa.
I'll surf West Australia, but I need people with me. I need, I don't like to be alone because if you're going to get bit, you want someone to be able to tie a tourniquet.
Well, yeah, and not be by yourself.
Yeah, and so if you're by yourself, you're dead. I surfed this area once, Rottnest Island.
Where's that?
It's off the coast of Perth.
Okay, and
it's very, very sharky. And I pedaled out on a bike.
And those are great whites out there, right?
Yeah, huge ones.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm not going to do it. It's too fucking scary. I saw a dude out there. And I was like, nah, it's too scary. And then this dude pedals up beside me on a bike and he goes, "Hey, Eddie Ift." And I was like, yeah. He goes, "You going in?" And I was like, I guess I am. And now that you know who I am, because I can't pussy out of those.
I would have, no, dude, there's no shame. No shame in trying to save yourself on that. I mean,
you ever see a shark in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where?
I don't know where. I don't know what type of shark it was, but it wasn't a big one.
Yeah.
Never seen a great white
Yeah.
in the water. I think it was a nurse shark. I don't know. It was something harmless.
Was it
but like the last time I know we saw sharks off San Clemente.
Yeah.
The water's really clear out there.
It's a lot of sharks there.
And there was a good amount of sharks out there, but they never bothered
baby
us.
great whites.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
That's where they're like birthed. The big ones go there, birth them, and then they live there until they get big enough. Once they want to start eating seals, they take off.
I'd fight one. I mean,
I've seen them. I've seen the baby gray whites. It's pretty spooky. They're like get up to like 9-10 feet.
baby. How bad could it be, right?
Fuck. And they want fish. But when you trained at SEALs, did you guys do all your swimming in Virginia?
Once you get to the team, you swim minimally. I mean, we did swim out in the Atlantic, but there wasn't.
Oh, because you do buds
lot.
in Coronado.
Correct. Yeah.
Then you go there.
Yeah. So all the
okay.
like the training 2 mile swims and all that stuff. Like we would swim, I don't know, once every couple weeks maybe in the Atlantic, and we would do it even less in the winter.
Okay. Here's a good question. I think I might have asked Bridges this because you are. I think you two are the only two that are SEALs and CrossFit Games competitors.
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scale 1 to 10. Navy SEALs, buds. How hard? 1 to 10. Difficulty.
The entire 6-month process.
Yeah.
In retrospect, probably like a 7.
Okay. CrossFit Games.
So it's a completely different
Can't
event.
compare them?
Yeah, it's very, very hard to compare because buds is way. I mean,
it's all mental.
Yeah, and it's a 6-month grind.
Yeah.
It's like waking up and doing the same thing. It's like getting up at 5 a.m. and going to bed at 10 p.m. 10,
Okay,
11.
then let's
It's
compare
like,
Hell Week to the CrossFit Games.
That's a little bit easier comparison, but it is a different type of pain. In Hell Week, I'm never afraid that I'm not going to be able to do something or yeah, I don't know. It's very, very hard. The amount of pain, is that what you're asking me to differentiate?
If you're hearing this music in the background, by the way, it's because Zach runs his gym as a nightclub.
Yeah, I mean, they're just dancing out there. I don't know. That's weird because, like, the CrossFit Games is more acute pain. Definitely. Like, the amount of pain that you experience in the CrossFit Games, like, at the end of an event is more severe than what you'll have probably at any moment in time in Buds or in Hell Week. But if you could dampen that from a 10 to an 8 and just you're going to experience this 24/7 for the next 7 days straight, 5 days straight, that's what Hell Week is. I don't know. It's different. Like Hell Week, you're cold, you're wet, you're hungry at certain points in time, you're chafing, you're never comfortable.
Did you ever have you're
mentally and emotionally never resting.
Did you ever think you were going to quit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd be surprised if anybody makes it through and then I never thought about quitting. Like, I never made any physical action towards quitting, but I think everybody quits or like doesn't quit. Everybody thinks about the option at one point, but then you just convince yourself otherwise.
So, in the games, did you ever think about quitting? Did you ever just go, why am I fucking doing this? This hurts so bad.
No.
No.
That's a good point. No, I didn't, because there's no risk at the games. I feel like it's like you make it and you're like, okay, cool, I'm here. I'm in the top 50 or whatever it is in the world. I just need to give my best effort. Whereas like if you don't give your best effort at the games, what's the consequence? You don't place as high.
Right.
And for some people, I guess that's super important. For me, it wasn't that important. To be 100% honest, it wasn't that important. Like if you don't give your best effort in Buds and you fail, you let your team down. And that was way more important to me than anything at the games ever was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to you would never want to let your team down.
Ever. I never looked at it like that. I've watched a lot of documentaries and read books on it and stuff, and I find it fascinating. And I always thought that it was more of like a true test of yourself and getting in. But now that you put it on that it's the team,
100%. There's for me for me personally, at the games, the consequence of not doing well was never as bad as the consequence of not doing well at Buds or in the SEALs.
That's why I tell people when they always talk about like guys like you that competed in the CrossFit Games at this top level and then kind of dropped down like Froning to a team. I always say to people, that's not really dropping down, because when you're on a team, there's that feeling of like sometimes you push harder out of I can't let these people down.
Right.
Because I've found it with myself when you go in and do like a Saturday with a team and you're like, I don't want to fucking pick this up.
I can suffer. I'm not, and I don't feel sorry for myself. If I'm suffering, I'm fine, and like I can deal with it and I can put up with it. The last thing I want to see is seeing a teammate suffer. So if I need to work harder in order to prevent that teammate from suffering, I will work harder.
Oh, wow. Wow, you're a freak. I asked you one time at dinner. No, but I mean that's admirable. I'm just saying I don't have that.
I was like,
I don't have that. I'm like, this guy looks like he squats well. I think
he can do that.
I'll take a couple breaks here, and and he'll feel sorry for me and pick up the bar. That's how I game it. I asked you one time, I remember, about the swim, the underwater swim, which is it a 50 that you have to do?
50, it's either 50 yards or 50 meters. I think it's meters. Yeah.
Same thing almost.
Yeah.
One's 55 yards and one's 50 meters. And I said to you, I think it's, forgive me if I'm wrong, it's in SEALs you have to do 50 underwater, and you have to, that's like a benchmark that you have to hit, correct?
Correct, yes. So you jump
pass out trying.
Yeah, that's like a unofficial rule, or not really a rule. Like I think it really depends on your instructor team, your cadre. I know there were some guys that would jump in. You have to start with the front flip and then swim down. You can push off coming back, and you'd be within.
Whoa! You just got me there. You start with the front flip.
Yeah, you're not allowed to push off the wall. So you jump in the water, do a front roll, and then you can start swimming from a dead stop. You don't get to push off from the wall. You can only push off from the wall coming back.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get, let's say within...
But the flip, is it to disorient you, or is it
I think it's to put a little bit more mental pressure.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That changes everything, because you're blowing so much air out while you're doing the...
I mean, if you're good at doing a front flip, like you do it while you jump in, your body's sinking, you're doing the front flip, so then you can just go. I mean, you think about how to game it.
Yeah.
So... Anyway, there's a unspoken, I don't want to say rule, because it's probably not a rule, but like there would be guys that were within 15 feet of touching the wall, and you would just see them like exhale and like go limp, and they would bring them up and like touch them to the wall and be like, yeah, they passed.
Wow.
Because if you have enough mental fortitude to just hold your breath long enough to where you are going to pass out underwater, I think that's what the test is.
Yeah,
I don't think the test is really like, can you make it some arbitrary distance underwater? Like, what's the point of 50 meters?
Opposed to 75 or 25.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
They're looking to see if you panic when you start to lose your breath.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I've taken a breath course, and I've got a lot of buddies that are big wave surfers, and we talk breathing a lot. And one of the things they've told me is that I've got one buddy, Albie Layer, who I text with every day, and I'll watch him in competitions, and I'll text him right after. I'm like, that second wipeout, what happened? And he'll be like, wasn't that bad? And I'm like, did you start to, because they break their eardrums a lot, and they go like limp, their body goes in, they black out, and I've never blacked out. I've come close a few times surfing.
I passed out on my 50 meter.
That's what you were telling me. That's what I was. And it's pretty scary. I've never gone to pass out. I've gotten close. And I can't imagine, like I thought our bodies had this like survival mode that wouldn't let us pass out. Like when it happens surfing, where you're held down, you can't get to the surface in time, so you pass out. But you were pushing yourself to the point of pass out.
I just committed to it. I said, if you pass out, you pass out. It was like, I wouldn't have done that if I legitimately thought my life was in danger.
But aren't guys' lives in danger doing that?
Kind of. I mean, you have a safety swimmer with you, so I'm just like, I'm either going to pass out trying to pass this test,
right,
or I'm going to end up going home and failing.
Yeah.
Like, passing out
was a better option.
Is a better option for me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever been choked out? I'm sure you
I have, yeah. that's worse to me.
I've been choked out a few times, and it's fucking scary. And I just watched if you go to Steve-O's Instagram, Steve-O has not Bass Root, one of the big not a former MMA fighter. He's fighting right now. I forget his name, but it's his most recent one, and he lets him choke him out. And to watch him go limp is so funny because he doesn't tap at all. He's like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And then Steve-O wakes up. He's like, that was so cool. I'm like, that is not cool. That's
a different type of passing out, though. That's not passing out from lack of oxygen. It's like going hypoxic and passing out because of lack of oxygen. There's some different defense mechanisms, survival instincts that kick in rather than just you passing out due to getting choked out.
Right.
Yeah. So
choking out, it stops the oxygen to the brain,
the blood flow. It stops the blood flow, and it's a lot more acute.
Mm-hmm.
So being a hypoxic, like you ever what chicken necking is? Like when you're underwater and you're holding your breath so long, you start to go.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like it's almost like a seizure, like a convulsion, like a reaction, like your body is instinctually like trying to take a breath, and if you're not opening your mouth, it's like you're not getting anything in. Where you're not losing your lungs aren't gasping for air, your diaphragm's not contracting to get oxygen in when you're being choked out. Gotcha. Because it happens so quick.
Gotcha. Sorry, guys, I have to interrupt the show for a second to talk to you about another one of our sponsors that's incredible and really, really innovative idea that is changing the way we all look at getting our protein. And if you're in the search for ideas on how to address the world's ever-increasing food insecurity, one of the biggest ideas is actually quite tiny. Insect farming. Although a new concept to the United States, it's been a global norm for centuries, with over 80% of the world already eating insects in their daily diet. Finally now, there's a company called EXO, and they've created the next generation of sustainable, eco-friendly cricket snack foods that are good for you and good for the planet. It's a superfood in every way. Superfood. When we talk about superfoods, you got to get your superfoods. Well, crickets offer incredible, massive nutrition while leaving a minimal environmental footprint. So make the choice to leave an impact on the world while fueling your body with premium nutrients. And if you're worried about the taste, don't be. EXO's award-winning 3-star Michelin chef has made sure that, creating what many are calling the tastiest and most nutritious bars for endurance athletes. How about that? Tastiest and most nutritious. So you're going to have to give them a try. Their classic protein bars are made with real food, they're minimally processed, and they're full of nutrients. Perfect for giving you the fuel to get through a workout. Get a variety box now. Try all the flavors like blueberry vanilla and banana bread at exoprotein.com. That's exoprotein.com. exoprotein.com. And use our discount code, that's WODcast, for 15% savings. That's WODcast, WODcast. You're going to get 15% savings at exoprotein.com. Join the Exo movement today towards a healthier life and a healthier planet. So do they teach you a lot of this when you're training to be a SEAL? Do they?
Physiologically...
Did you just nerd out on this yourself?
Kind of both. I mean, they give you a brief rundown, but I think they don't go into too much explanation because it kind of would demystify the process, and the fact that there is some, if you don't know about that stuff, makes it seem more daunting, makes it more scary, let's say. I think if you have a good understanding of physiology and how your body reacts, like Wim Hof and I'm sure plenty of surfers that have done breathing and or breathing techniques and breath control, I'm sure they would have a lot less fear in those situations, just for the simple fact that we all know that fear is a result of not knowing what's going to happen next. When you know what's going to happen next, or if you know what's happening, you have less fear. Not to say you're not afraid, you have less fear because you have understanding of. Yeah,
because it took me, surfing over the years, hold downs were really fucking scary in the beginning.
Oh,
really scary. And then as I
don't surf, so when you say hold downs, you're talking about like
so when you wipe out
and you get pulled down,
you get pulled down,
you
and
have
if
to
the
deal with
wave's
it.
big enough, and you're getting somersaulted,
tumbled,
tumbled everywhere,
Yep.
and you don't know which way's up, and you start swimming for the surface, and it's
or what you think is the surface.
and people don't understand that when you paddle for a wave, you're using so much energy. You push yourself up. And then you're riding a wave, and all of a sudden, sometimes when you get knocked down too, it knocks any wind you have out of you. And so you're at a negative right there. You're already in zero.
It's not like you're going underwater with like,
no.
And now you're holding your breath, and you can just brace. It's
sometimes you do on a, if I see a big wave coming at me on the paddle out, I'll do a couple big breaths.
Yeah.
To start expanding my lungs, and then do one because I go, oh, we're going for a ride on this one. There's a chance, and you hold onto your board as tight as you can possibly hold it because you might be spinning, flipping, doing. You don't know what's going to happen. But I've been there enough times now and these guys will all teach you, relax.
Yeah.
Like you go into total relaxation mode, and almost a guy taught me one time. He goes, do a count. Just be like 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. He goes, say to yourself, I'm going to panic at 6. I'm going to panic at 6, 1,000.
Yep.
And that's when I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
For the surface. He goes, because most of the time
But you're up
and
by then, typically.
People listening are going, 6 seconds?
Yeah.
They don't
It's
get
the longest 6 seconds of your life when you're down there. Holy shit. You might as well poop yourself. Like, that's...
Yeah, because it's not like I can honestly hold my breath now for like 2.5 minutes.
Right.
But that 6 seconds... is like the
but
6
fully
seconds
exhale everything you have, then hold your breath for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
That 6 seconds becomes a lot longer.
Yeah. I was just talking. Brian McKenzie called me this morning. We were talking about it because I've been doing a lot of. He gave me this thing called apnea trainer, which I swear by.
You have sleep apnea?
No.
Or no? Oh, okay.
There's a thing called apnea trainer,
right?
Which is a box breathing thing that it's an app, and it's great. It's great for meditation. It's great for relaxation, anxiety. Increasing your breath holds, but it's like this chick talking to you, and she'll go breathe in, and you just do it. You set it for what you want. Say you go like, I'm on 6 seconds,
okay,
or right now I'm up to like 10s, and it'll breathe in, and you breathe in, use nasal breathing for 10 seconds, then it'll go hold for 10, and then it'll go exhale, but it doubles the exhale, and that's apparently where the oxygen, where you're oxygenating your bloodstream with the exhale.
With the exhale?
With the exhale. So the longer you do it, the better. Then hold for 10 again, and then you get to inhale again. So it does that. It's not really a box. It's more of a, what's that called? Not a pentagon,
pyramid?
trapezoid.
Trapezoid. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's a four-sided figure, but not
but the one's longer.
or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's funny. Breathing's become such a big... it's almost like
that's gonna be the next big thing, or maybe not. Maybe that's not the correct. Maybe I'm hyping it up too much. But if you watch the elites, you can always discern the ones that are gonna sustain or maybe perform better because they have better breath control through their workouts. Like watch Matt or Rich or Brent's pretty good at it. Fikowski. Watch them breathe during their workouts, and you'll realize like they breathe with purpose. They don't breathe. They don't breathe out of reaction.
Right.
They're controlling their breathing the entire time, and they're breathing on rhythm, on cadence. And I think it has a huge application to all sport.
Tony Jeffries told us that with boxing. He's like, you watch a boxer punching, it's all about that when they're going. He's like, if you don't breathe like that, you're going to be out.
You're ineffective.
Yeah. And I've started to apply it and found it to be amazing, and it helps, especially with doing like intervals. And I'll go, okay, so when I'm done with this, I'm also going to do 3 huge nasal breaths. Like I'm going to try to get as much oxygen back into me and then back into it. And I've been trying some workouts with just like some runs, and I'll go, how far can I go nasal breathing? Just nasal breath. Then, okay, once I get to the point where I can't anymore, and trying to increase that on the run. Mm-hmm. So, and that's...
with the same pace, right?
Yeah. And I'll go, let's increase it each time, and hopefully, pretty soon I'll be doing this.
I mean, we learned about that in shoot and move drills going through the house. It's and obviously like sniping and long range shooting and stuff, like breath control, and it makes a huge difference when you are in tune with your breathing. You're a lot more control over everything that you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I do it for stand-up. Yeah, like if I have a big show.
Oh yeah. Do you breathe for?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing really makes me nervous now that much.
Right.
But like I have a TV show next week I'm doing, and it gets a little weird when it's
Is it in front of an audience?
Yeah, and it's a little bit like, it's like you guys compete. You only have one chance. You can't like redo. If I'm shooting a special, I can do 4 and edit it all together.
Yeah.
If I'm shooting the show for Comedy Central next week, and it's like, if it doesn't go well, I'm fucked.
Yep.
So a lot of times I'll feel my heart beating too much before the show, and that will knock my timing off, which then ruins everything. So I will sit down.
Well, in comedy, timing is everything. Yeah. You've said that to me. Yeah.
And a couple rounds of box breathing, and I'm like, oh, my heart's back down to normal. But I read. Did you ever read The Talent Code?
Is that clock right?
No.
Okay, good. So now we're behind.
Did you ever read The Talent Code?
No, I didn't.
It's a great book. Let me see what's
The
going
Talent Code?
The Talent Code is maybe it wasn't The Talent Code where I read this, but
bye guys.
It was a guy who was coaching pitchers, and he said the whole thing was about breathing to get their heart rates down.
Right.
When they got to throw that pitch in the World Series, the final pitch of the game, how do you get their heart rate down? But he had one pitcher whose heart rate would be so fucking high, but he realized that's how this guy plays well at this high heart rate, so he just kept him at that.
Yep.
He was like, don't switch it.
Don't change anything.
Yeah, you and I see that with like
the adrenaline and the nerves actually help you.
Like, like Robin Williams, if he did breathing techniques, probably would have
thrown him off.
Probably,
he might have saved his life. But shit, that's fucked up.
I was gonna go there, and I'm glad you did it. No, I don't give a shit. He probably wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah,
like the adrenaline thing is what he needed to make him crazy.
Yeah, or like Kevin Hart. I feel like Kevin Hart's kind of high strung.
He's just small and lots of.
Oh, I mean,
but you can't do it in CrossFit.
I'm small.
I
Chris
watched.
Spieler's small.
Have you seen who's the? I think it's Shaquan Barkley. I think somebody just posted this. Scott might have posted it on our old Instagram page.
Shaquan Barkley?
Is it Shaquan? The running back for the Giants?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
They showed him like clean like 400 and
yeah, exactly.
And the whole team's like screaming and yelling, and he's going like before he gets to it. And somebody said, imagine how good he could be if he had good technique and relaxed going into it.
Right.
But is there anyone...
Probably not as good.
No.
Probably not as strong.
But is there anyone in the games that's like that?
There used to be. Jason Khalipa.
Was he like that?
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Jason's one of those guys where his energy never shuts off, and I feel like if he were to calm down, it actually might work against him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure about breathing specifically, but Jason was always very unique in my eyes. He always had energy. I very rarely saw him in a mental state where I would say... Rarely, not never, rarely. A mental state where I would say he was calm. Calm is not the word I would ever use to describe Jason.
Is he doing the Legends?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I hope he does.
It?
No, I'm not. I was never that good. I don't think I would.
Oh, you only 3 games appearances? It doesn't make you that good?
I think those 3 were probably based off of a little bit of luck and maybe just, I don't know, sheer will. Sheer will. I don't know. Jason is, I like watching Jason compete.
Yeah.
He's entertaining, right? And that's the reason why we have
He's
sport.
He's also doesn't look like he should perform as well as he does because
on
how
certain
big
things.
he is.
On certain things.
Yeah, I mean, if you said to me, oh yeah, he had the highest clean or the highest squat, or I'd be like, yeah, I get
that
it.
makes sense.
But you go, oh, he just went through something like Helen or something.
He also did 30 muscle ups for time in under 3 minutes. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Little freakish.
He's fit. I would love to see Jason compete at that Legends thing. I would love to see all those OGs compete, just because I feel like those were the people that made the sport what it is today. The sport. I keep saying that, even though I hate the fact that CrossFit is a sport in that sense.
I think it's dividing right now. I think it's becoming
good.
CrossFit methodology and then CrossFit the sport.
Good. That's better for people. Better for people. I think that's better for the business. I think that's better for affiliates. I think. I went to see Glassman speak last week or 2 weeks ago, and he was at Pepperdine. CrossFit Malibu brought him in, and Mike's a good friend of mine. He was like, "Hey, come down and see Glassman," and I watched it, and it was like, it seemed to me like he was like, the games is something for 0.00001% of the population, and everybody else don't even think about it. Yeah, there's no reason to.
You're never going to compete, and these guys are doing everything they can to be the best at what they can.
It's not only that, but I think for the longest time, people were like, "That's the end goal. That's what I want." No. What you want is health and fitness, and you want to be functional, proficient, and you want to look good naked. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Our athletes were the picture of what we consider to be health and fitness.
Tip of the spear.
Yeah. And so the influence of that is what changed people's goals. And that's not what I think a lot of people actually have as their goal. That's that was something else. It was just good marketing.
As soon as somebody gets injured, they realize it's all about longevity.
Oh, you're talking about if an athlete gets injured, that athlete.
No, I'm not saying an athlete. Like somebody who is a CrossFitter, somebody that comes in and does it, and they get that mentality. They get caught up in the, I want to be the best. I want to beat everybody. I want to be incredible. I want to be elite. And all of a sudden, they encounter an injury, and they go, "Whoa. The whole reason for being here is so that I don't get injured out there." So this is about like living long, living healthy, living strong, being able to do things for the when CrossFit
That's interesting, because when we talk about injuries, nobody is ever going to be a competitive athlete if an injury dissuades them from being good in their sport or pursuing their sport. Like an injury, even as a recreational athlete, even as someone that trains CrossFit, I am willing to bet that you're probably not implementing CrossFit correctly if you've never been injured. And I don't want to say CrossFit causes injury. There's a degree of risk with every type of physical endeavor, right? But at the same time, like if you have done CrossFit for 20 years, let's say, which I don't think there's anybody out there that has, and you're still not injured, or are you still not injured, like you should be broken for the rest of your life? No. If you've never tweaked something, then you're probably not pushing a threshold. But what I'm saying is, like, you shouldn't be continuously injured.
Sure.
Like, it should be relatively infrequent. But I don't want people to be afraid of that. That's the thing. It's like we want people to live with a little bit more fearlessness, and live with a little bit more assertiveness in their movement, right? It's like if you tweak something every couple of years, or if you like, oh, I sprained this, or I have a grade 1 or whatever, and it's like, okay, cool. No big deal. You'll bounce back. You'll get there, right? That's better than a sedentary lifestyle and chronic disease.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But I know what you're saying, where someone they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to the games. It's day 5. I'm going to go to the games.
Yeah.
And then, tweak my knee. Maybe I should be in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of people that don't realize what it actually takes.
I agree with that. I think there are some people that severely underestimate what it takes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm amazed at what it takes. Because I've been in Venice and Southern California, you get to be around some guys that are games athletes, and I go, you don't understand the level of commitment to this. But
it's always funny seeing those people come in and be like, yeah, I'm going to go to the game. Did I ever tell you about that one? There was a kid that came in when we were at our old location, literally came in wearing this. He was a little bit shorter than me, 5'6" black kid, young, 18, must have been 19 years old. Came in, shirt off, jeans,
walked in
with his shirt off, jeans on, and his title belt. I don't even know what the title belt. It looked like a gold WWE belt, But it was like a legit belt. Like he walked in, I'm looking at this kid, and I'm just like, before he said anything, I'm like, that's not a fake like prop. Like that's a legit belt in something. And he's like, this is my next sport. I want to be the next champion in this. And I said, what? And he goes, CrossFit. I've seen the games on the TV, and I've seen the games on TV, and I want to go to the games next year. And this kid is like 5'6". He was a fighter. He was I think it was either Muay Thai or it was something where he was the
punched
champion.
in the head way too many
well,
times.
Yeah, absolutely punched in the head way too many times. But he was the champion of his weight division.
Yeah.
And as I talked to him, I realized, oh, you think there's weight divisions in CrossFit. And as soon as I told him, I was like, how much do you weigh? And he goes, 145 pounds. And he's at like 5'6".
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, so I mean, it's going to be a while before you get
40
strong
pounds
enough,
of muscle.
strong enough to do the weights that these guys are doing at that level. And he's like, oh yeah, well, I'll just compete in the lower category. And I'm just like, no, you don't get it. And as soon as I told him that, he became very upset with me. I'm just like, man, don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry, you're a small guy. I'm a small guy, right? But I tried to like salvage this, but his ego was way too. It's hysterical with the ego that some people come in.
I love that CrossFit is like that, where it's one size fits all, and everyone's got to do it, because there have been times where I'm like, well, is this the proof? And I'm like, I guess it is. It is this average. Hunter and I always fight. Hunter McIntyre. Because Hunter wants it. Hunter so badly, by the way, and you guys, I forgot to mention this, please go out there. He wants to be one of the wild cards so badly.
For the games?
For the games.
He's not fit enough.
He wants... He's gonna.
I met Hunter one time. He's gonna hate me for that.
He's gonna
Hunter's
start
a good guy.
attacking you online.
Hey, you know what, Hunter? Unless you got your snatch and your cleanup from the last time I saw you, bro.
I'm gonna see him in
You
New
got
York.
good heart. You got the heart.
He does,
and he's got good hair.
Yeah, he's got great hair.
Great hair.
Great hair.
Is he still working with Tommy? He was lifting with Tommy for a while.
He's lifting with everyone.
Okay.
Hunter's got a lot of money from a lot of stuff he does, and he's
can't buy your ticket to the games, Hunter.
No, but I mean, he's working with everyone, trying to get it, and he's a freak of an athlete.
He is. He certainly is.
Not strong enough.
Yep. But here's the thing. I met Hunter that one time, and I saw him move. He did an open workout at one of our other locations, and I saw he's an athlete, meaning that he develops skills real quick. And he was doing it with Tommy, and I saw his warm-up lifts. And then I saw, and this speaks also to Tommy's ability to coach, Tommy gave him a few pointers. I don't know if it was snatch or if it was clean. It was an Olympic lift of some sort. And he PR'd by like 20 or 30 pounds, like in front of my eyes, because he was so coachable.
Right.
Hunter, he is the definition of an athlete.
Right. Yeah. And he also, look, he is doing so many different things from his primary sport, his obstacle course racing, and he's doing so many things media-wise and everything, that if he wants to be a CrossFit athlete and go to the CrossFit Games, he's got to go into a CrossFit gym and be there 3 times a day. And, and that's how he would make it. And does he have the ability? Probably.
Genetically, physical potential? Yeah, absolutely.
But it would take the commitment.
Well, but that's the hard part. That's this part.
Yeah.
Hunter, don't be a mental midget. Like, let's go. If you want to go, commit. Let's do it.
He really does. He really wants to go. And he keeps saying, he's like, I'm good for the sport.
He's not that pretty. He's pretty. He's a pretty guy.
So you're not, are you competing anymore?
No.
You're done.
Up until this year, we had always sent teams to regionals, and if the team needed me, I would compete there. But I don't find enjoyment in competing anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of do. That's a half true statement, but I don't actively compete or train to compete. No.
Right. Do you compete? Now you're turning the microphone like you're Celine Dion.
My wrist is just getting. I don't know.
Carpal tunneled.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have a good team?
No, actually, I think all my athletes moved away. Yeah, Devin moved, Nicole moved, Julia moved. Marcos is still here. Who else do we have on this? Oh, it's a 4-person team.
Isaac can't make it?
Isaac is just beat up. Isaac's old.
But there was a guy who was a good athlete.
Isaac is like Hunter in the sense that Isaac is an athlete and he has incredible genetic potential.
And
that guy
pretty.
He's extremely pretty. Yeah, he's I might as well be Denzel Washington's illegitimate love child. Like Isaac can go a month eating nothing but McDonald's and will still have a 6-pack.
Yeah, he has a freak of an athlete.
The genetic lottery, he hit that. Yeah, so
So you're done competing. You've got now 2 gyms.
Yes. Well, we have 3, but the city's looking to close down one of them. And
Really?
actually have a final decision that I need to go talk to them about that tomorrow. Yeah, it sucks.
Wait, when did you open a 3rd one?
So we absorbed, Max Effort Fitness joined with, I don't want to say absorbed because it was kind of like a partnership with CrossFit Social City. Omar Foster, he runs a great program. It's kind of further west. It's small, intimate, very family-driven gym. Right. He came into the umbrella of Max Effort Fitness and Max Effort in CrossFit West Vegas, and we've been 3 gyms now since like January, February, earlier this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's been doing great work, and he's really awesome.
What's wrong with the city? What's going on?
So the city approved us to be in the space as a CrossFit gym under the business license. Recreation facility, sports instruction, and then someone complained that we were making too much noise, and it was their jerk of a neighbor. It's just he's just a jerk. We'll leave it at that. But he complained, and now the city's forcing us to reclassify as a health club, and that has way more restrictive language. So we were required to get a special permit, and they're not approving the special permit. So if they don't approve the special permit, we can't be in that space.
Did you ever think you'd have to jump through so many political hoops?
No, but that's my own fault. I've been, I guess, extremely lucky in all the spaces and all the gyms that we've opened up since then, and I just I tried to open up next to a jerk of a neighbor.
Yeah. I've heard this from so many gyms.
Yeah, and
many.
It is commonplace. I think I've just been lucky thus far and not having to deal with it. The thing that really sucks is we've already been in this space since March, and now the city is retroactively putting us out of business, basically.
Right.
So it's like the gym has 120 people.
Can't you soundproof gyms with like the cushioning, the egg stuff that they put in studios?
Yeah, and it was a noise issue, and this is why the city's jacked up. I think we could sue the city in the sense that the code enforcers came out and affirmed everything that we were doing. They're like, okay, you're not loud enough anymore. You're not a nuisance.
Yeah.
Like they went and they stood in the neighbor's office while we were dropping weights, hundreds of pounds of plates overhead, and they're like, nope, you're not loud. And they ruled in our favor. Code enforcement. The city council now says you're not a harmonious use. We don't want a gym there. We would rather have some sort of office or whatever.
Well, good luck, because retail's closing everywhere, and it's things like this that need spots. Amazon's eating up everything.
And that's the thing. There's no gym. I mean, there's CrossFit gyms in that area, but it's like you can't. You look on the map, and there is no other gym really in that area that is.
Remember the old days when you could send some muscle into those city councilmen's homes?
Well, I think that's what the other guy did. This the more I hear about this other guy, the neighbor, the more I'm just like, oh, this is mafia money. This guy, he's like a lawyer, and we're next to a lawyer's office, and he's embedded deep, and I think it's just I don't want to get involved in it.
I just realized I think it's the 4th time I've heard the Milkshake song.
Well, it's on a playlist. It's like, dude, I mean, it's Vegas, and our visitors have expectations when they show up to the gym.
Is this not the most popular? This is one of the most popular gyms in the country.
As far as drop-ins, yeah. I mean, there are some other gyms locally that I'm sure get just as many visitors as us, but we average at least probably 10 drop-ins a day.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anywhere from, average during the week is probably 10.
Do you sell a lot of T-shirts?
Yeah, and I'm out, and that's the issue is that I can never seem to keep enough T-shirts in stock.
You should have like a shirt that says I dropped in at CrossFit Max Effort, and all I got was
a stupid T-shirt.
Was really sore.
And all I got, I like that. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could come up with some better sayings than that.
Well, I know you have to run, and I would like to talk to you for 6 hours because I could. I wasn't on last time you were on, so I might have even asked some of the same questions that those guys asked, but I was on the road then.
They wanted to talk about comic books a lot.
Fucking nerds.
Dude, it was, I was like...
That's all they...
I'll talk about comic books and video games and stuff like that.
They love movies like that.
It was right around, I think, when Batman vs. Superman was coming out, or something.
So
it was some movie that was coming out that they wanted to talk about.
They're obsessed.
That's what we're talking about.
Armin and Scott are both obsessed with all those superhero films, and I go...
You don't get it?
Here's my thing. I'll tell you. I don't like to talk about it. Avengers...
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. It's like a football game that goes down to the last 2 minutes, and then it's just like get field position, kick the field goal. Just bring the Hulk in. Why didn't you bring the Hulk in the first 5 minutes, and he would have cleaned everybody up?
You didn't watch the movie, did you?
The Hulk is the dude.
The Hulk got his ass whooped in the first 5 minutes of the past movie.
Oh, in the past one, probably because I bitched so much. The Hulk,
he got fucked up.
In the first Avengers, the Hulk comes in after they all fight for like 12 hours, and then the Hulk's like, all right,
I got this.
Yeah. So it's like it was futile. It was like, why didn't we just watch a 5-minute clip where the Hulk just cleans everything,
destroys everything?
Right. So I think they took my criticism.
Probably did. I mean, because the Hulk didn't help at all in this past movie.
Okay, so
you got to watch this.
So then I'm so sick of all these movies. I only like the Batman where Heath Ledger was in it, and that one was incredible.
What do you think about Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker? Have you seen pictures of him?
No, but I liked the first Deadpool.
Yep.
It was hysterical.
Yep.
The second Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds made too many jokes himself.
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't
very
as good.
Yeah. My buddy TJ Miller's in that movie. He plays the bartender. And
I like him.
Yeah, he's
good.
He's hilarious.
Is he gay?
No, but he acts it.
Oh, okay.
He's not gay at all. He's married, and he's TJ would be gay if it was funny. Like if you said, like he'll do anything for a laugh. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But so what else do you? So you're gonna have 2 gyms. Are you still cert train? Are you one of the L1 or L2 cert instructors?
Yeah,
still?
I'm still coaching level 1s, level 2s. I love doing that stuff.
What level does it go up to now?
4.
Level 4. Yep. So who teaches those?
They haven't actually, I think, put those online. Those are coming online either later this year, within the next couple months, or like very early next year. And those will be done at certain gyms across the country. I'm not sure exactly how much I'm allowed to speak on the topic because we haven't really released any information on that.
Right.
Yeah.
How often do you travel to do these?
I'd say on average once or twice a month now, just because I'm really busy with the other ones. But
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like what I mean. I'm on the road and sometimes 3 or 4 times, but sometimes it's like
they fly you out Friday afternoon and you get home Sunday night.
Yeah, that's a little better than mine.
Yeah,
I fly out like Wednesday.
Sometimes you have to stay over until Monday and you fly in Monday morning. But I mean, it keeps me in a good relationship with CrossFit, the program, because I'm teaching the principles of CrossFit to people that want to learn, and I thoroughly enjoy coaching level 1s and level 2s. It's great.
Do you still go to the games to watch it all?
No, I haven't been in the games in about 3 years.
Really?
Yep. And the reason is because I want to make sure that my people back home are taken care of, right. And I think that I don't know. I don't feel connected to it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I anything I've ever done, it's like I don't want to go unless I'm competing. Like comedy festivals, I'm like, I'm not going.
I've always hated watching sports. I would much rather be playing sports than watching. So like going to the games to spectate doesn't make sense to me.
Me too. That's why I love surfing. I'll go to like the big surf competitions, and as soon as they blow the hooter or whatever they call it, the final bell or final horn, I'm like, I'm surfing those waves now. I paddle right out and get to surf what they just surfed that they competed in. So it's
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Imagine if they had allowed that at the games. Like, okay, and people just come on and they try the same workout right there and be like, I don't know.
I've been seeing some pretty crazy workouts lately that it just got to a level I didn't realize that it would ever get to.
I think a lot of people are real. I think there are people at CrossFit HQ that are like looking at workouts like that. Like, holy shit, 6 years ago, this workout wasn't even like plausible.
I just saw a workout Jacob Hepner was doing. Did you see this thing?
Jacob, he does crazy stuff all the time.
It was like Fran, then 100 double unders with a weighted jump rope.
Right.
Then something insane in the middle. Then another 100 jump ropes with the weight, and then Fran again.
Yep. I mean, that amount of volume in a single workout is just for intensity's sake. I mean, and he's fit enough to where he can sustain a high amount of power output. That would destroy me right now. Like, that's just, you look at that 10 years ago and be like, why
Yeah.
Why? It's because for him, that's what he needs to do in order to get a good workout.
I know, because his adaptation is.
Yeah.
So I have a little nephew that I give CrossFit workouts to, just like body weight exercises every day. He texts me every single day. He's 12. He was a little chunky, and all he did was read comic books. He's obsessed with comic books. He eats all sugar all day long, and I don't know. He wanted
Perfect.
to go. He wanted to go see the Jokers, whatever their name is, the Impractical Jokers.
Oh, yeah.
And and I can get them tickets. I said, I'll get you tickets. I'll take you backstage if you do a workout every day for 5 days a week for the next 6 months.
Are you sure he's doing the workouts?
Positive.
Okay.
I make him film them. I make him
Okay,
send
good.
So I just every day text me. I just throw something. And some days I'll be like, go run 2 miles as fast as you can. I just give him little things every day. So yesterday I said, I want you to do one push-up, and I make them do chest to deck. One push-up, one sit-up, one squat, minute. So at 4 minutes, start
Death
two.
by.
Death
Oh,
by.
okay.
So
I see.
I'm 2,
Yep.
2, 2. And I go, when you stop the push-ups, which you're probably going to stop first, then it's down to 2 minutes because you're just going
Oh,
sit-ups,
because now you
squats.
just sit-ups and
Yeah,
squats.
and then
Oh, that's
just-
cool. I like that workout.
And then just to squats. He got to 33 squats, I think it was.
Oh, geez.
Which ended up being whatever it was. He did 666 squats.
Yep.
And I got to call him today. I'm like,
That's the devil's number.
I think
Or that's the
know.
number of the beast.
And I think I gave him. I'm sure he's got like rhabdo today. On my 12-year-old nephew.
He's 12. He's fine. He recovers like that. It's fine.
That's true. That's true.
Next
All right.
time, do it with a bar on your back. No.
I know. I feel that's what I said. I'm going to New York next week, and I go. He's 12. I said, I think you're ready. We start you with some weights. So
Cool.
Yeah. But he's getting healthy. He's eating healthier. He started eating vegetables.
And that's all it took was a push from his favorite uncle.
Right, but
that's all it took.
But I really think, and I don't see it enough, CrossFit for kids. I really think more and more kids should be doing it.
Yep.
You don't teach it here, do you?
No, we don't. We're looking to. We're going to start a program, I think, at some point early this coming year, just because I agree 100% with you. That's the future.
And I think that one of the barriers to it is the price. And I think it should be cheaper for kids.
I completely disagree.
I think $250.
Oh, maybe I don't know what they're charging out there, but it's like pricing out here for the program is going to be less than an adult membership.
That's what I mean.
Well,
way less, I think, for a child than an adult.
Right. Well, that's what we would charge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then, because I think I would actually want to charge. That's why it's hard to make a CrossFit Kids program financially viable, is because you have to charge 2 memberships to every one, and how many kids, right? And then are you going to get versus adults? But if you look at like how much they charge for kids to do like martial arts or dance,
I don't know.
or whatever. Yeah, it's like $250 a month.
Yeah.
It's like, why would CrossFit be cheaper?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Because I pay a lot for my daughters in gymnastics and swimming.
Like piano or gymnastics.
Yeah.
How much does it cost for kids to do gymnastics 3 times a week, or piano lessons 3 times a week?
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive, and it's way more than an $89 a month, $99 a month, or even $120 a month CrossFit Kids gym membership for 3 times a week. We need to make it more financially viable. You'd see more programs out there.
There probably are some programs out there, and I'm talking out of my ass right now, but in my head, what I'm thinking right now is, as a parent, you put her in this thing and you're like, I'm just going to put her in for 6 weeks, see if she likes it.
Yeah.
And then if that's good, we can get another 6 weeks. And if she likes it, whereas CrossFit, you come in, it's like, you're joining for life.
Right.
Like this mentality. Yeah. So maybe to incorporate more into a smaller package, like, hey, have
6-week program. Yeah,
and then it's
absolutely.
something for them to accomplish. And even at the end of 6 weeks, if they walk away from that, they have a foundation that's pretty good to move them into other things. And
absolutely.
And if they love it, they stay.
I think that's good, actually. Yeah.
All right. So anywhere they can find your social media is so hard. You're at CF Max Effort.
So the gym is CF_Max Effort. Yeah.
Underscore. So if you're coming to Las Vegas, it's an incredible gym. It's well known all over the world. Very nice. Everybody's friendly here. Classes are good. They won't beat you up like some places I go, like make you never be able to walk again. But
we try not to.
It's exactly what you need.
We understand people are here for a good time.
Except for that one time you guys made me do those.
I'm pretty sure that was of your own volition. I think we tried to scale you and said, fuck you, Zach, I'm going to do this RX. I think that was exactly your words, actually.
No, when you made me do the sled and the broad jumps.
Oh, were you sore the next day?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
But
there wasn't a lot of muscle. Oh, it hurt. Yeah. Did you throw up?
I've never had that feeling before.
Oh, yeah. That's effective programming. That was good.
It was freakish.
I remember watching you do that. I was just sitting on the sidelines laughing the entire time. I was like, Eddie is funny on many different levels.
What is that, though, that you did to me? It was like...
Yeah, so we were doing lactate threshold training.
which I have very
poor tolerance of. Yes,
very. So you're saying that's what I need to work on?
I think you would see a lot of benefit. That's some of the most painful type of training out there, like nauseating. Body just wants to shut down. It's like a cross between my body wants to throw up and also go to sleep immediately.
But it happened. Yeah. Like when you programmed it, I looked at it and I'm like, this is fucking easy. And it was, and you said, wait till round 3 or something. Yep. And I think it was round 2 where it started to hit me and I went, this is a weird feeling I've never had. Like my muscles wouldn't work. Yeah. So it was, for those of you listening, it was, sled pushes with not a lot of weight, but enough that it...
Where you could go fast.
Yeah. Yep. And so sprint, sled push, 100, or what is it, 50 yards or 40 yards?
It was probably something like 20 yards or 25 yards. The whole room is 40 yards.
Okay.
Yep.
So 25 yards,
yep.
Turn around and broad jump back.
Yep.
And first one was easy. Second one...
How much rest were you getting in between rounds?
I forget.
Probably like 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, I think, like that, right?
And then I don't remember, but I remember by like round 3, I couldn't jump. Like I was like, why won't my body go? I'm trying, and I have a good broad jump, and I'm like, I'm going like a foot. I'm like, what's happening?
Your rebounding broad jump turned into staggered bunny hops.
Yeah.
Were there kettlebell swings in that? Maybe I'm remembering a different workout. I thought I had you doing some kettlebell swings. Or did you do something before that?
I think we did something before.
There was something that you did before that, I think, too.
But that is my big problem, is the lactate thing. And, I'm all power and sprint and have I can do endurance things. Like you go run 10
when you're
miles.
Steady state.
Slow, yeah. But it's that middle zone, which I need to figure out.
It was good. I think we did like 5 rounds of that, too, right?
It was brutal. It was terrible. But come here. Check out Zach's... Zach... At Zach as fuck.
Oh, Zach underscore AF or Zach, I think it's double underscore. I don't know. Caitlin made the
middle initial A?
Yeah, Alexander.
You should
Forrest,
just be like, I'm Zach as fuck.
Yeah.
So Zach at Zach underscore AF? Yeah. So check them out on Instagram and anywhere else if they want to get a hold of you. Is that it?
maxeffort.fitness, our website.
That's it. And and he won't admit it, but he's one of the OGs. And if you get a chance, I've heard from people who've said that you were their cert instructor and you were incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So,
if you guys listen to the show and then I'm teaching your level 1 or level 2, let me know.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Let them know how wide we go. And thanks for listening. Always, we have our Instagram is up and we're working on it now. So check us out. Please follow us. If you've listened to the show and you were on the old Instagram, there's a new Instagram. It's still at WODcast Podcast. And Patreon. Go to our patreon.com/WODcast Podcast and donate some money. And Zach, you get I don't know if you've ever used one before. We give all our guests a Myopux.
What is that?
Electronic muscle stimulator.
Oh, hell yeah.
And TENS machine.
Does it stimulate anything?
Anything.
Okay, I can use this.
Yeah. It's incredible. It flushes all the congestion out of your body. After we got
Myopux?
Myopux. It's incredible. It's cordless. Wireless.
Ooh, okay.
So you can like sit on a plane with this thing.
Oh, okay.
Just pumping
I like
whatever
that.
injury you
I like
have.
That.
And we give you a leopard claw too, which is one of those like multi-tool like fascia scraping devices.
Yes.
That it's
I love rubbing myself with metal objects.
Yeah. Have you done it? It's so painful.
Yes, I have.
But
it's
it
painful.
works.
Yep.
It works. And they help the Resiliency Project that helps a lot of the soldiers downrange. So they get them to them.
Perfect.
And these guys are using them because, as you can probably testify, you get hurt out there.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys need shit like this to
That's
recover.
Good.
So they donate to them, and we give one to each guest who donates at least $5 to our Patreon. So get on our Patreon and donate.
Yeah.
And we'll send you one of these. So Zach's getting one, and you can get one too. And check us out on all social media at WODcast Podcast, and I'm at Eddie Ift on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. And my tour, I'm in Vegas this week. You missed this. I'm gone. While you're currently listening to this, I'm in New York City at the Comedy Cellar in New York City. I'm doing Wednesday night and Saturday night. I'm taping for Comedy Central. It's called Comedy Cellar Tonight. Come see it. It's a really cool show where we do topical jokes, and then we have a sit down and discuss topical shit and make fun of it. And it's a new show on Comedy Central. And I'll be in Reno next week at the Laugh Factory in
Ooh,
Reno.
I love Reno.
Is it fun?
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I've never been. I've never been. My first time, I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Reno. I don't know what casino it's in, but it's in one of them. And then the week after that, the Improv in Lake Tahoe, South Lake. And then the week after that, Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm at the Galway Hooker. So check all those dates out. That's
the Galway Hooker.
The Galway Hooker.
That's the name of a
bar?
A bar. Wow.
In Lake Norman, Charlotte, North Carolina, and
that's on the list of places.
If you're a gym around there, contact me. I'll come in. I work out with you guys, and I always appreciate that when you guys come out to my shows. So check me out at EF and send me messages. Instagram's probably the best way to message me. And that's it. Thank you, Zach Forrest.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, CrossFit Max Effort. Thank you, WODcast listeners. And thank you, Machete, for editing this.
Machete. Thank you, guys.
See ya.